Welcome everyone to our Harmony Power broadcast. I want to welcome Tom Dinatale. Tom is an extraordinary person, and we have this long-standing history and friendship. Goes back to 1990. I'm going to keep it very brief, the history, because I really want to get Tom to talk about why he's on the show with me. I met him, I was a young kid. He gave me a job working at the front desk at the world famous Vertical Club, where you had all of the celebrities and CEOs. And I was enamored because I couldn't believe the line of people, including a lot of big celebrities, wanting to just talk to Tom. I'm like, who is Tom? Well, he's the manager. And as we got to know each other, and he took me out for a shoe shine one day, just to try to get acquainted with me. He said, remember one thing. He says, everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time. And he was pertaining to these people that were the most powerful in the city. And that was the beginning for me. Because he says, once you understand that, you'll be very successful. And that's the reason why they would come up to him, because to him, they were just human beings. And I found that to be quite profound. And so for me, that impacted my life and my success. And that's why I wanted to have a show with him to talk about his history a bit, how he's impacted the world through the fitness world, because he's really a fitness icon as far as the business of health clubs and fitness itself. And I think that's really important to recognize these people, because he's a rare breed. He was in the New York Times, he's on other big type of networks in that era. And everybody anyone knows him. And so I'm blessed to have you on my show, Tom. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, John.
So Tom, tell me this. Tell me what was the magic? Like, you were in sales, right? So that was a big thing for you. Why would people just keep signing up with you? It's like no matter what other people were trying to do, they would come in and they would just, what was it? What did you do?
You have to just be kind and caring. And that's what it's about in sales. It's very easy. All you have to do is make the customer feel comfortable and make them feel at home, get to know who they are, find out what they're about. And then once you do that, then you zone in and you're able to conduct the sale and finalize the sale. It's easy as that. It's just building relationships.
And the one thing about you, you've always been consistent with your answers. It's that kindness and them feeling welcome. And also, you're always big on goal setting. It wasn't just about getting the sale. It was like you really wanted to discuss their goals and overcome their objections, not with the sale. Like people say, oh, it's the sale. No, it was objections with them wanting to be better in themselves. You kept them focused on who they were. And as a result, they would want to buy a membership. Am I correct?
Well, that's just part of it. I think more so, once you find the X factor of what they're looking to do and you zone in on it, I think what happens is you build a rapport, and everybody wants to improve themselves, but the majority of people just don't take the extra step. And it takes someone to make them understand why they should take that next step. And that's what I try to do. And I think that I've been successful doing it, because over the years, what I've done is I built rapport with these people and relationships, and I became a friend to them. And I've helped them. And I think the best thing that I've done in my life is being in that business, because I've changed people's lives only for the better. And when you give someone the gift of health, it's the best thing in the world you could possibly do.
And the thing is, and you discuss the human struggle, the things that can happen without medically, but yet you override it, you move forward, you always find reasons to keep moving and being healthier. I think that's what it's about, right? That's reality.
I think, to be honest with you, John, I think self-pity stinks. And I think that, especially in times like this, the world is in chaos and people are just feeding into this. And what's happening is they're living because it's all about stress, and stress is literally killing these people. What they're doing is they're poisoning themselves between depression and anxiety and panic attacks and what's going on with the virus and flus. People are self-medicating themselves, and they're going to drugs and to drinking, and they're actually killing themselves. There's a simple way of solving this whole problem. It's as easy as the nose on my face. And that simple way of doing it is exercise. A simple walk every day, doing your cardio every day, whether it's a walk or bicycle riding or jogging. What you're doing is you're getting more serotonin to the brain. And at the same time, you're getting more oxygen into the blood, and you're going to feel better about yourself. That's the beginning. Then after that, I recommend that everybody find time in the course of the day to exercise, to work out with equipment. Because what you want to do is, as we get older, we lose muscle tone. You have to use equipment to start toning and conditioning. And it's very easy. It takes me, in the course of a day of my exercise, it takes me 40 minutes to go through a complete workout with equipment. And people say, well, why so fast? I don't talk to people. I just go about my business, get the blood flow into that body part. And what's happening is, after that, I feel good. And I now see the reshaping of my body. And it makes me have more momentum to go to the gym and to keep on doing this. But that's just part of it. People, once they see that they're starting to get themselves in better shape, they're going to make more attempt to change their caloric intake. They're going to eat better.
That's
And
right.
they got to drink fluids so you don't dehydrate. It's very simple. It's the ABCs. And what's happening is, if people do that, their life is going to be more fruitful. It's going to be more enjoyable. And God willing, they're going to have a more extended life that they're going to live much longer. Today, it's a very simple thing. People just have to change their way of living. And who's more important than yourself? You're number one. And there's no free lunch. You just got to go and make it happen. And that's the whole thing in a nutshell, John.
No, let me tell you that, and these are words that have been very consistent with you for as long as I've known you. It's, always simple and profound and real. It's like people want to change the world. You got to change your inner world.
You
And
just have to change yourself.
yeah, that's your
And
inner
once
world.
you're able to do that, you can go about all challenges and make it work.
Right. And it's important to remove, and I tell people, you got to remove those toxic relationships, toxic people. And you were helpful with me with that, right? So that's personal, but it's those ideas, right? And putting
Negativity, when you're negative, it creates contempt.
That's right.
And what happens is it causes most people to get sick.
Yeah.
That's why there's so much diseases around, with heart disease, cancers, strokes, diabetes. And it's a simple formula. Just work out the system and take care of yourself every day of your life to alleviate the stress factor. We have to deal with everything in life, but you know something? If you at least do these things, it's going to be more fruitful.
It's what it's all about. And like I said, when I think back to our history and the things that you said to me, they still are in my head till today. We're talking 30 plus years later, in my business and in the way that I teach, it's all about those relationships.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
believing in it. That's the most important.
Right.
If you believe in something, you put this on to other people, and what happens is they become believers. It takes one building block at a time to make it happen. And not only that, once you feel good, you start telling other people about your experiences. And you're not going to change the world, but if you change one or two people, they may be able to change one or two people. And that's what makes it work.
I do believe that fitness is the answer. I mean, people taking care of their health and well-being. And I also believe in the spiritual sense, but to me, it's all spiritual. I mean, some people are not into spirituality, but all of that is so important. You're right. If people put themselves first, everything in the world changes. All this chaos, you got to go deal with your own chaos. That's what I believe. And I'm glad that you stated that. And you being a pioneer, look, people have to tribute to those who were there before us. And you're not just a pioneer, but you're a legend to anyone who knows you. I know you're not into that, but you.
All I know is it's all about three things: mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
And if you have those components, your life is going to be much more fruitful.
Well, I tell you, that's why I'm going to send to you the Harmony Power Award certificate. It's going to be sent to you. And this video, that what we're doing together, I want the world to see, because I want you to always be remembered, because I always remember you. And those who knew you, all those trainers, all those employees, all those people that you impacted, that you told them the truth, even when they didn't want to hear it.
And I'm still in touch with them
Yeah.
all these years.
I'm one of those people, right?
And you know, the greatest thing that makes me feel good, John,
Yeah.
is I thought I was very tough with my employees because I wanted them to excel. And maybe I pushed too hard. So what I did was, down the line, years later, I said, let me get in touch with everyone. And I called everyone that I've had their numbers, and I seeked them out and I said, listen, I said, and when they heard my voice, they said, Tom? I said, yeah. I said, I just want to call to say one thing. I want to apologize that I was so tough with you. And it made me feel good, because everyone that I've spoken to said to me, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z. I have a family. I own my business. I'm successful. So, you know, so that's the greatest tribute that anyone could give anybody. So it made me feel good. And that's what life is about. If you can't help anybody, what good is your existence here?
Here's the thing. Yes, you were very tough with people, but here's the thing. The majority of time I remember it, people needed that toughness, because you were telling them the truth, even if they didn't want to hear it. And they need that. It's that tough love. People need that. If they're coddled too much, they don't progress. They don't go anywhere. They get stuck where they are because they believe that's all they can do. You always let people go further. You allowed me, within a year's time, I was working the front desk, then I was teaching martial arts there, I was teaching dance classes there. You even had me try to sell, like you were like, when you believe in someone, there was like open range with you. And that's why, you know, I love you, Tom. You're just an amazing human being. And that's why you're getting that Harmony Power Award. So I want to thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you, John. I really appreciate it. And good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.